Okay, Buck here, and I'm trying to save someone else the hassle of buying a tool they think is going to help them get their water heater element out, and um, hopefully you can learn from some of my mistakes, because I've come and I've bought this at the hardware store, thinking that this 1.5-inch socket was going to help me out, and this very piece right here let me down. It came to replacing the heating element in one of my hot water heaters. So the problem is, let's see if I can find the problem on this. That is your problem right there. And it's just these tools are cheap, and they actually don't fit all that great. And when you put this breaker bar through here, it just doesn't quite give you enough. The socket doesn't sit on that heater element well enough to be able to break it free. Now, what I have come to learn is to get yourself an actual 1.5-inch socket. Now, granted, this one is made in Taiwan, but I got this at Napa. This is an impact socket, and this socket alone probably costs about the same as this kit, but it's way sturdier, and it'll actually fit on the end of that heater element and make your life a whole lot easier when it comes to taking that off. But the trick is you have to get this all the way on. I mean, all the way. Like, you cannot, if this has to sit flush with basically your water heater, flush is in that flush for this to work, because you might get yourself in a real pickle if you even have just a slight amount of play like that, and you go to try to take this off. See, that's usually the problem, and that's what's wrong with this kit. Is to actually use this, you come off the edge of that heater element just a tiny bit, and then this slips. And so you can use a breaker bar, but again, the problem is this will just slip right off because you kind of put pressure on it, and when you're putting the pressure to loosen it, which would be this way, right? You're just you'll have your bar coming across like this, and when you're lifting up, this thing will just tilt up just a tiny bit, and then it'll slip off. So, I know not everyone has access to an impact gun, but if you got a friend, seriously, using the impact gun to get the water heater element out is my preferred method. And this tool right here, when you put the socket on there, it'll allow you to go completely, let's say that is the edge, flush. And the nice thing about the impact gun is you're pushing on it, so you can push on straight, and the gun itself will give all the braking power you need to get that out. And it doesn't take very much. When you pull the trigger on that thing once, and that whole heating element is out, and if you do it like me, you don't drain the tank, you just pull that out really quick, and as long as you've got all your faucets closed on your water system, while the air's trying to come out, while the air's trying to go in, the water's trying to come out, and so it's very inefficient to get the for water to come out of your hot water heater. So you can actually replace it with water still in your heater, and what you do is you put some paper towels underneath, so you try to catch as much water as you can, and a towel maybe, and then you pull one out, which will be on the end of this. It'll be inside this socket. You pull it out, slap a new one in really fast, and seriously, this can be a 5-minute job. Or if you're like me and you went to the store thinking this was your golden ticket, because the salesman there at your local hardware store said, oh yeah, that'll help you out, it really won't. Don't waste your time. This is basically the only way I'll ever replace a heating element ever again. So hopefully this little tip can add value to your life. And if it comes to testing the resistance on it, there's lots of videos out there on how to properly test the ohms through your heater. You can have all the power off. You just test it yourself. I mean, one of these meters looks expensive. I think it was probably $15 on Amazon. But to test the ohms, I mean, it's really quite easy. You just that's what you have to set it to, and you can really easily test with the power off and everything disconnected. Test the resistance on each of your at least on our water tank we have 2 heater elements, and diagnose which one's bad. And then once you do that, it's an easy task. And if you have the right tools to start with, you won't have to waste your time and your life running around trying to figure out what to do to get something out. This will make your life a whole lot easier.